Good evening everybody. I hope you are well this fine Wednesday evening. Going to be doing some more gold making today, and well, actually going to be probably doing a little bit of tidy up because my bags have got a lot of stuff in them that needs sorting out, and all my auctions have probably expired again, so I need to go through and sort all that. And we got the commercial. Good evening Ollie, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I hope you're doing well this fine Wednesday evening. Hey Mushy, how are you? Thanks ever so much for stopping by. Right, so let's have a look. So everything has probably expired because I was last on Sunday evening. So what I'm going to do first is clear out some of my bags, because we're really running low on space and I need to go through and organise everything tonight. So what I'm going to start off with, evacuate to a mailbox outside of Borealis. Yes, that's definitely a good idea. It's going to be a lot slower in Borealis. Dalla and Hearthstone, that's a good idea actually. I could use the bank there as well. And the bank and the guild bank are quite close here, so I'm going to use these first. I'm going to just deposit quite a few things first. How am I doing on reagent space? I have a few things available. Let's have a look. What can I place in here? The main things I'd want to put in here would be my enchanting things. They tend to get used. Veiled crystals, temporal crystals. The fractures I'll keep. The shards I'll pop in there. Maelstroms. Ley lights, large prismatic and small prismatic, probably. Arcana as well, let's do that. What else have you got space for? Primal Mana could be an interesting one. Mysterious Essence definitely. And then some of the rest of this I could probably do with just putting away somewhere. Let's put the Hexweave away because that would be useful. Because that's soulbound anyway. And the Drainic Dust, that's another one that fills up quite a lot of space. The Golden Pearls, I'll put those in. And Magnificent Hide I'll leave. What else have we got here? These could probably go in. Sorceress Fire, that's full. Any water? Yeah, we've got some space there. How have we got coming in? Here we go. Daniel Hedge, how are you? Watching me on YouTube and finally managed to catch the screen. Well, thank you, Daniel, for stopping by. I hope you're doing well. And good evening to Ballsy. Oh, thank you very much for the grats. Very kind of you. Noob, how are you? Catrozo, thank you very much for stopping by. And Morgan Kane, good evening, one and all. Well, thank you all for stopping by. I hope you've had a fantastic start to your week so far. We're just going through and I'm clearing out my bag space at the moment because we have a fair amount of stuff that is not so useful filling up my bags. So I'm just looking to see what I can clear out. Reagent bank's probably fine. What I might do is pop a few of these in different places. What else have we got? Briarback quills. Not sure what I'm going to do with those. So let's clear those. Keeping the hearthstones. Marks of Honour we're keeping hold of. Let's pop those in the bank for the moment though. Whistle I want to keep. And then, oh, there was something in the armour I wanted to keep. The Norgannon's Foresight. Just because you never know. Underlight Angler's a good one to keep. Seabreeze the Staff. What have I actually got on me? That's a 273, so I could probably disenchant that one. Let's have a look there. Adrios, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. What do we get for that? Got a couple of Umbra Shards. And we've got some more Gloom Dust there as well. I think I've filled up my reagent bank though. Yes, we have. Maybe we could take something out of here. Maybe if we took some... What's a single thing there? Wildfowl Egg, that probably doesn't need to be there anymore. Let's take that out. That could go in there though. Or actually no, that can go in the guild bank. And let's pop in Let's put a lot of this in the guild bank actually, looking at this. A lot of these things can go in there. So let's go over to the guild bank. Just start clearing some things up. There we go, that's my son's tab. I'll leave that for him. Now enchanting things. Let's pop in what we need, what we have spare here. Volatiles. Those can go in. The fractures I'm going to put in. Voids, Umbra, Gloom Dust, and then Primal Mana, Essence of Fire. All these things, I'm just going to put all the enchanting type things in here. Even the enchanting vellum we could probably put in there. And then we'll need to give that a sort, so we'll use Sushi Sort, let that sort itself out. Tempted to have a crafting guild bank, but you enjoy being social with your guild too much. Yes, that is true. It would be really nice if they expanded the reagent bank size. That would be useful, definitely. I think there we could see something a bit better. Just make a new guild on an alt. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It could be just sent over to your alts to store, but then you have to do the whole flip sending between alts, which does kind of slow things down. If that alt's the one that's doing the crafting, then that's useful, definitely. Otherwise it is very difficult to keep an eye on things, really. Right, everything's moving around. You can see Sushi Sort's doing its magic. At least giving me a fair amount of organisation. Lots of different things here that I could probably just go through and filter out. But for now we're just concentrating on clearing my bank space. And my bag space rather. That's the main thing I want to do here. That's leather there. What's that doing there? Coarse leather. That shouldn't be there. Let's take that out in a moment. What else have we got there? Bleach. That should be in the tailoring section. Okay. Let's take that out and that out. Durable flux, I'm not sure what that's doing there either. Okay, so in the tailoring section, let's move across all our satin. Let's clear that out. All of that. Oh yeah. TSM works fine with several guilds. Yes, it does, that's true actually. You have 3 for personal use and 1 for your mains guild. Wow. That's a fair amount indeed. Tie spray linen, nylon thread, we're going to pop that lot in there. We're just going to pop all of this out. I think I'll put the leather stuff in there as well. Briny flesh isn't what I want though. Runic catgut. He ignores the main guild and tells me to log which character. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's pretty good TSM for doing that using the task list. It is quite nice saying log out of this one, log into that one for everything. Why I've got Bolt of Ember Silk and Ember Silk. Okay, they're 2 different ones. That's all of those. Bolt of Woolen Cloth. And then other things, that's all fish based. We can do that in another section. Just looking what else we've got. Oh yes, we're going to do the leather and the bleach. Move that over. Okay, let's move that over and then we'll do a sort on those. Okay. That's dedication, yes. Mushy is a fine example of getting everything organised. It was her example that got me to organise my guild bank like this. Before it was a complete mess, I can remember. Having every profession, it's gotten to a point where it's silly, yeah. When you've got every profession, there's a lot of stuff to organise. I mean, I've only got a handful at this stage. Already got a flag 1 time, have you? Really? Interesting. Oh, did you spot that? Okay, Kat. Thanks for spotting it. I'll sort those out. Oh, thank you. WowNet Live, thank you very much for the cheer. Very, very kind of you. Let's see some chef's hat. Thank you very much for that cheer. For the bits. Haven't had any bits in a long time, so thank you very much. Very kind of you. Bloodstained Bones. I've got that savage blood there. There we go. not quite what I wanted. I'll have a look for those. Explain lives in the same house and stuff, and virtual kit income is fairly divided. That's interesting. Right, that's all organised quite nicely. We had Bloodstained Bones, was it, somewhere? Blood Spirit, where is it? Bloodstained Bones, Skinning Skill. I wonder where I should put that. Let's leave that out for the moment. And we'll probably put that in something like cooking ingredients, maybe? Something like that would be useful. Fish though first. Herbs and BFA fish. So we're going to put in all these herbs. Magnificent Hide can stay. BFA fish, Sand Shifter, Slimy Mackerel, Tearguard Perch, Frenzied Fangtooth, Lane Snapper, and the other ones. And these are all the Legion herbs. Need to sort those out. Pop those somewhere. Midnight Salmon, there's another one. Quite a few of those. And there's more Starlight Rose. Then we're on to ink. Miscellaneous things here, really. Shimmer Scale, that's another skinning thing, isn't it? Okay. What else have we got here? Okay, looking fairly clean. Liking how this is looking so far. Okay, what we need to do now though is another sushi sort on this lot, because that needs tidying up. Okay, so we'll go through that again. Let this run through. Yes, very kind of you, WellNet Life. Wow, we do have a lot of fish here actually, looking at this. Although the price of my fish, the way I've acquired them, is quite expensive. Some of these are way overpriced, like that's 17 gold, that's not too bad actually. Midnight Salmon, I actually have an average purchase price of 323 gold, and the price has now dropped to 159, so I'll need to resort that average out. The same with, which one is it? I think it's Sand Shifter. Yeah, I paid 31 gold on average for these 910 Sand Shifters, and the average now is 6 gold 45. So there's definitely a disparity there. Sushi Sort is another add-on. Yes, definitely. Yeah, with the guild bank there isn't a standard sort, so Sushi Sort is really nice for just organising each guild tab with a very simple button here. Did I miss one stack of herbs? Where is it? Oh yes, there it is. Foxflower. Okay, we'll have to pop that one in a minute. I think I've got a command for it. I think it's sushi. I think that's the one. If it's not sushi, then it's sort. There we go. There's Sushi Sort. There's the add-on for that. See, it's handy to have an extra pair of eyes on your guild bank, so you know where to do it. So if I've got this extra one here, then what I'd have to do is, let me just condense those over like that, and just check all the other stacks are doing okay. Yep, they look fine. So in order to get this one over there, it's probably easier just for me to swap that round and do a manual sort myself, and then let Sushi do the rest of those, which I think it's probably gotten. There we go, it's just going to flip through those last ones. But it's quite good at flipping stacks like that. Okay, there we go. Red-tailed Loach is highest selling on your realm, even though sell highest on Monday and Tuesdays. It's needed in the captain's feast. Okay. Red-tailed Loach, how am I doing for Red-tailed Loach here? 88 gold. My average purchase price is 64 gold, so I could make some gold out of these. I do have 1,400 of it, and there's 50 auctions on at the moment, so there's money to be made there with that current price. That's a good call, Catroso. Meat with the fish, that could be a good idea. Currently I did herbs at the moment, because I have another one which is the cooking ingredients, which has some of the other fish from Legion, and it has the other meat in it. But this one got full, so I had to find somewhere to put all the other ones. So I think for now I'm going to put the meat here. Have I set a new mount goal? Now for mounts I'm not sure. I've gotten the pirate shippy one. I'm thinking my next thing would be something like buy more Mage Royal. I'm not sure how much I've got of Mage Royal. Fireweed, where's Mage Royal? For the Xmas. Okay, yes, good point. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to things like that in a moment. Once I've gone through and sorted everything out first. I'm trying to organise things first, so I'm going to get rid of all of this. Aromatic fish oil I'm actually going to stick here with my BFA ones. And then cooked ingredients are going to have meaty haunch. Now, alchemist, that's for alchemist. There's a lot of random stuff here, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with. Grilled catfish, that's cooked stuff on there. And that looks like a snack of sorts. So let's organise. What else have we got here? Blue dye, that needs to go into the tailoring. And grey dye also in there. And I might put the ink in there for now, because it is kind of like a dye kind of thing. Ultramarine ink. And then these miscellaneous, these can go in the cooked food. The Bountiful Captain's Feasts, the grilled catfish, and the coffee. Just going to move these all in for now. Armour and jewellery I need to sort through in a minute. Just clearing everything out first. And then these are kind of... Oh, that's an enchanting thing, the onyx. Let's pop that in there. And then I've got a miscellaneous holder lock boxes and various things here. Darkmoon Firewater. That's pretty full. So not a lot I can do with here. Tie spray linen bandages, they're no good to me really. They're just taking up space. So I might be better off just vendoring those. Crafting cost is 31 gold, which is amazing. That was mainly for crafting. Selling for 30 silver is not really going to do me a lot. Yeah, they don't sell, so I think I'm going to vendor those. Clear some space. I've got loads of other stuff. Cold tiramisu, seasonal. This is spare cooked food. So what we'll do is we'll just put a few bits and pieces in here. Shimmer scale, Arcanite bar. That's an interesting one. Why is that there? And the monolite ore. We could possibly sell that monolite ore. And savage blood, and then star wood. I'm missing a bandage there. I could do the one space so we can do the sort on this, so we'll just leave that going. Let that run through. What's the goal with the inventory? Am I hoarding for a specific reason? Not necessarily. I'm not sure what to do with a lot of this stuff. So for me, I am a natural hoarder. So I am literally keeping hold of some of this stuff for feasts when I can make them. That's the cold tiramisu and seasoned loins. I'm not so sure about. That's cooking meals and desserts. Yeah, currently very cheap. That was mainly for leveling, so not sure what I can do with that. And then the other stuff is really something for me to just look at, and maybe if I do find a use for it or have a use for it at another point, then I will dip in here and pick them up. Obviously all those lockboxes, when I get myself a rogue, I'll be going through and doing all of those. Wait until it becomes a turn-in, yep. Buy mats when they're cheap and sit on them until you need them, I guess. Yeah, pretty much, Ollie. That's a good point, really. That's what I tend to do. Right, let's sort these ones out. Various weird bits here. So let's just sort these ones out. Then this is kind of just dumping most of my stuff in my guild bank. And then we've got a clean bag, and then what I'm going to do next is going to go through my actual auctions and tidy those up a bit. character try rogue and a 110 to unlock them all. That's a good point, that noob. What I like to do is have something more permanent. Why not have another character that is a rogue that that I'll always have. So I've still got a 100 boost. I was thinking of making a rogue with that, and then that also gives me access to another 2 professions. So this is the eventual plan, is to make more and more characters to have every profession covered. That's the ultimate goal for sure. Working your rogue as you speak. Only level 42 though. Excellent. How are you finding the leveling of a rogue? What else have we got here? Enchanting, Seal of Haste and Seal of Versatility. Both look to be pretty cheap on the market there in terms of crafting cost. Maybe I'll just have to pop those away for the moment. Have we got space? Yeah, there we do. Just going to pop those in. Need to keep these on me. Jewelry. Oh, we can wear that one. Oh no, hold on. There we go. Jewelry. Where was it? Where did it go? There it is. So that is a level 273. So that will replace my 259. And then we've also got armor, which is leather, plate. And so TSM, what are these? 266 item level. Don't look like there'd be that much use. So I could scrap them, or I could disenchant them. Disenchant value is 190, 190 and 190, so there's a chance of gloom dust on those. Vendor sell price is 39, so I'd be better off trying to disenchant these. Let's give them a go. See what we get. Gloom dust. More gloom dust. And let's try the jewelry. What's that going to be? Gloom dust as well. Don't know what the scrap value would be of those, but gloom dust is fine. We can use that. And then we'll pop that in the enchanting tab. There we are. So that's done. There we are. Trinkets always scrap. Yes, definitely. Trinkets are the ones that you get expulsed and guaranteed, isn't it? I need to at least triple my playtime. It takes so much time to just log by them every day. Yeah, that's pretty not too bad to level at all. Everything's pretty decent when you have looms. Yeah, that's true. The heirlooms do help. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here, Mushy, is I'm trying to make my time more efficient. So by keeping my bags clear like this, then I'll be able to deal with my mailbox better. And then the next thing I'm going to do is work out my auctions, because I've got about 470 items there, and a lot of those aren't really that useful. So I'm going to clear out my groups a little bit, and some of the stuff that has not sold for a while I'm going to take out, and I'm going to trim down my groups. But yeah, more time is always needed. I have blessed little time at the moment, so I'm making do with the time I have. Let's go and vendor those tide spray linen whilst we have them. Might as well do that whilst we're here. Tide spray linen bandage, those can go. So I want to keep our underlight angler on us, and then those are for quest items, and my hearthstones and my whistle, which I need to get upgraded at some point from somewhere. So that's another point. So we have a much better looking bag space now. 42,000 gold currently, so still not a lot. So next job will be to head on over. Let's go on to a slightly smaller mount. Go somewhere a bit quieter, so we can go. Actually, Hearthstone Dalaran was a good idea, wasn't it? Let's do that. What's the bag add-on? The bag add-on is called Addy Bags. Let me just type the command in. I think it's bags. Have a look. Oh, there you go. You've got it already, Mushy. Thank you. Yes, it's called Addy Bags. There is a TSM extra bit for it, which I haven't tried, but it would be quite useful at this stage. Right, let's have a look. There's loads of commands. Yeah, there's a few of them. I tried to keep them to a fair minimum, but they are useful. I should make a list or something. So, lots and lots of mailboxes, which is nice. We do have the Lost Mail quest line to start, but I'm not going to do that yet. So, bags are empty. Let's go find ourselves a nice mailbox to stand by, and then we can give ourselves a Brutosaur mount for people if they need them in Dalaran. There we go. Right, so let's take up some of these expires. Let's see what we've got and see what we do need and don't need. Finally completed your Shadowmourne questline. Oh, excellent, Butteroo. What was the Shadowmourne one? Is that a new one? I don't think I've done that one yet. There we go. Reload that. Look at the old Legion login screen. Haven't seen that in a while. Oh, it's a legendary axe. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's the good thing about World of Warcraft is there's a lot of old content and new content that you may not necessarily have done. So it's always useful to vary up your game a little bit, especially if you're finding things a little bit burnt out at the top end. There's still lots of old content if you haven't experienced it to go through and do. So from Wrath of the Lich King, you forge Shadow's Edge, empower it with blood, frost, etc. Then collect 50 shards, one from each boss in ICC. Nice, I like that. So if you're really lucky, it's at least 5 weeks. Wow. Well, that's dedication for sure there. Okay, we've got a load of stuff coming in here. So looking at this, I'd probably want to try and have a look at this. Now, some of this stuff, like crafted malevolent gear, I have had not much good results with these. So I'm thinking I'm going to collect the appearance of these and then disenchant them, because I'm really just, there's no point putting those on at the moment. You did that 9 weeks ago. Oh, excellent. Hey Glinda, how are you? That axe you can get this extra drops from the Lich. Oh, right. Only useful for Warrior, Pally and Death Knight. Okay. Just before BFA. Ah, okay. So looking at the prices of these, there are good prices on them, but it's failed 37 times on these. 36 times on those, 37 times on those, and that's only since I last had TSM up. It's probably a lot less than that, a lot more than that in total. Let's take some more expires out. Whilst we're here, let's trim this down, as there's more crafted malevolent stuff here. So we're going to go and have a purge. We're going to clear out some of this stuff and only post on the useful things. So there's our bags full of stuff, lots of things here. So let's have a look. There's going to be stuff we can vendor, there's going to be stuff we can sort out. So let's have a look at the crafted. That's all this stuff. Okay, so crafted malevolent gladiators, satin hood. Haven't collected the appearance. Vendor sell price looks better on these. We're fine. Been some time since you saw me streaming. Nice to see that you reached my goal with the mount. Thank you very much, Clinda. Very kind of you to say so. Yes, really enjoying the Brutosaur mount. It's most useful for sure. We've reset to bottom at the moment with gold, so we have no gold left. What we're working on at the moment is to get enough gold for a BlizzCon Virtual Ticket, but that means getting about 720,000 gold, which is going to be a fair old stretch by normal standards. At the moment though, because my playtime is so short, I'm trying to make myself a bit more efficient, which is what we're trying to do here. Veggie Burger, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Right, so let's start with collecting the appearances of these. The satin hood, and then we're going to vendor these afterwards, because it's better to vendor them than it is to actually disenchant them. Okay, so that's done, and now I've got to remember to put things back on. That's that, and that's a shoulder. I'll put that back on. Now I've collected that appearance, I can go to this one. It says I've done that for trousers. I've already collected the appearance on that. Oh, I can't use that one, that's why. Oh, that's fell weave, okay, interesting. And that one I haven't collected. That's mooncloth leggings. I'll take those. Put the leggings back on. And then, what have we got? Cuffs of prowess. I'll take those. Put those back on. And that's just Hunter Rogue. Shaman, that's Cape of Cruelty. And we'll go down to this armor stuff. Legacy set. Fellweave, no. Treads of Cruelty. Take that one. Put that back on. And then Cuffs of Prowess. Haven't collected that one, interestingly. Or that one. Put that back. And that we now have. That we haven't collected. It's easier to go through this systematically with it highlighted, or not highlighted rather. Right, so that's all there. So now, vendor wise, just double check the disenchant price versus the vendor sell price. But most of these are looking to be better to vendor. So I'm just checking the name, making sure that I'm doing the correct things. Crafted Malevolent, all these things. Oh wow, hello, thank you very much for the raid. How are you? How was your stream? I hope you are well. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Been a long time. I'm doing very well, thank you. We are just going through and we're clearing out my bags because I've got a lot of auctions that haven't been selling. So we're just going through and we're clearing out, we're collecting things up, and then we're vendoring the things that we don't need anymore. So this, at the moment, we're doing the crafted malevolent gear, which just hasn't sold for me. I made a whole load of this many months ago, and it never really sold. So we're having a bit of a clear out today. So we're just going through, vendoring the things that we don't need or want or use, which is all of these. And then we're going to go through and carry on clearing everything out, and then posting our auctions back on. But thank you for stopping by. I hope you had a good stream, and thank you ever so much for the raid. For those that don't know me, my name is Samadan, and I spend most of my time making gold in World of Warcraft. I've literally only this last couple of weeks dinged 120, so I'm really taking my time playing the game, enjoying the content at a nice slow pace. That way I get to enjoy everything, and there's always something new to do. So I'm a bit behind the curve on a lot of things, but the main thing is really just to have fun. Try to make a little bit of gold now. I've been very good at that. Need to learn from you. Yes, definitely stop by and learn. What we're doing mainly with our gold making at the moment is professions. The best profession I've had so far out of the ones I do have in BFA has been tailoring with the honourable gear. That's been the one. And riding on a Brutosaur. Yes, we do have the Brutosaur mount, which was my biggest challenge. It took me about 4 months to save up for this one. Got $1 million a month, and I already had $1 million in the bank. So it took me a while, but it was definitely worthwhile. no need to rush when you're riding around the Longboy. Exactly. It's been fun, and that's the thing I always try and say for people is make sure it's fun, whatever you're doing in the game. You know, it is a game. It's supposed to be fun. If it's not fun and you can't find something fun to do in the game, then don't play it. But if you can find something to do and you've got a goal or something you want to aim towards, then there's plenty you can do. You're glad with 90,000 gold. That's a nice amount. You can do something with that. So easy to let the game become a job. Exactly, Ollie. And then you lose focus as to what's important. So there's a whole load of stuff that's just come off. Now vicious stuff. Now this is an interesting one. This is also failed several times. Admiral's Hat's been a good one. That's worth selling. Because even though it's only failed 15 times, we have had a couple of sales in that time. The vicious gear, not so much. And we have a fair amount of that. And the problem with the vicious gear is it does require ember silk. So it can be quite difficult to make, because ember silk can be quite pricey. If I was to just look at I can't spell vicious. VIC, there we go. And there's a cape as well. So these are all, oh there we go. Let me just bring my bags back up. VIC, VIS, like VIC. There we go. So this is all the vicious gear, which I haven't collected. Now this is telling me it would be better to disenchant than to vendor, because it's an 11 gold value for that. Now obviously I'm making a loss on this. My crafting cost is much higher, but at the moment I'm looking to clear stock, and it's more valuable to me right now is time. So I'm going to clear out these as well, because what have we had? Where's my data on that? 36 expires, 37 expires, no sales. 37 expires, no sales. And 36 expires and no sales on all of those. So I might as well collect the appearance. So I'll do that first for the vicious gear. So I'm going to pick these up, collect those. Make sure I put the right gear back on. And then the cape. That one. There we go. And then we're going to actually disenchant these. I think they all seem to be a better gold value to disenchant. Possibly that one's a bit close. There we go. If a bit lucky with sales, you can make 50k per hour. Yes, that's true. Selling takes a whole day. You mean farm the mats? Yeah, I mean that's another thing I can do, is actually, you know, spend my time doing something different. I mean, I'd like to go and spend some time with Awakening and do. Whoops, no. We need to disenchant these. Now, ideally, I'd use my keyboard shortcut for that, but because we've got in the middle of a text input, we have to do this by hand on this side. I think that's going to be the better way. So this is going to be quite a slow-paced stream today. It's slower than my normal slow-paced stream, simply because we're doing a lot of organising here. But this is all future-proofing myself so that I'm actually more efficient in the future. So there we go. Let's clear those out. Hey Huxneva, how are you? How was your raid? I hope you had a good one and had many successes. Nothing feels nicer than a cleanly organised bag. This is very true. Alright, so there we are, looking a little bit better. Let's bring that back up. There we go. It's progress. Oh, Veggie Burger, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. That's very kind of you. Thank you ever so much for your support. Welcome to the Samadan squad. Here are a whole load of chef's hat for you to use as you like. Thank you very much for your support, very kind of you. Dark Moon Fair consumables, yes, that's a good point. I was going to get rid of those. Those are things in the specials Dark Moon Fair, all these ones here. These are all really not worth doing. I'm going to vendor those, that's a definite. definite one, because those have just expired. There's no good for those. And that wagon bomb, that's a very rare seller. 50 expires, so let's get rid of some of these. Bring up my vendor. So anything Dark Moon, specials Dark Moon Fair. You can see them all in here. So from here, let's go with that. Bountiful Captain's Feast we're keeping. Pineapple Pizza, now that's a weird one, but that has, look how many times that's expired. It's really not worth it. And then corn sausage, that's Dark Moon Fair. That's Dark Moon Fair. And Dark Moon Dog. And those and those. Don't need those. And this wagon bomb, not having that. Now Tome of Illusions, obviously you want to keep. Tome of Illusions Pandero want to keep. The Glyph of the Voiding, we didn't sell one of those, unfortunately. We did buy them quite cheap though, for $4.99. Right, let's start at the top. What have we got? Pets, Admiral's Hat, Black Mage Weave. Now I have had some sales of those, 6 sales, so we're keeping that. Hallow's End starts tomorrow. Oh, I'm not sure actually, Ollie. I haven't really been keeping an eye on the events. I'm sure there's something. Are there any pets or any mounts that you can get through it? That would be my first guess. But I don't know about Hallow's End. I don't know what you can get. The shirts we're definitely keeping. I enjoy doing the shirts, even if they don't make a lot of gold, even the rich purple anymore. But they're still worth doing. Silkweave Robe of the Harmonious. That hasn't sold. We haven't collected the appearance on that. And Netherweave Tunic. That hasn't sold either. And I haven't collected the appearance on that. Right, so let's look at these. Let's bring this back up. Okay, so there we go. Silkweave Robe, haven't collected that one. Check the achievements. If they need to eat certain things, sure. Oh, right, okay, that could be interesting for cooking. Yes, because there's that achievement, is there? What a long, strange road it's been, or something like that, which you've got to do all the events throughout the year. That's kind of an interesting one. Right, let's start with the Silkweave gear. Collect the appearance on these. Netherweave Tunic. We're going to do that. And Ghostweave Tunic, no sales of that, lots of expires. Now, Frostweave Robe, we've sold 3 of, so we're keeping that. Black Mage Weave, we've sold 1 of, so we're going to keep that. Glorious Breastplate. Oh, let's just do this section now, whilst we're here. I'll do it in small sections. Now, these are going to, some of these are going to be vended. That's not useful. It's flopping the order around. Let's have a look. Which one was these? Silkweave Robe is one of them. We'll vendor that. Netherweave Robe. Looks like Disenchanting is the way to go on those. And the Frostweave Robe. Yeah, disenchant those as well. So let's go through to those. I have to bring my bags back up now. It's a shame the bag dropping off each time. And then we're left with the Frostweave Robe, which we had sold, so we're keeping that. Okay, so that's that. Glorious Breastplate, interesting pricing on that. Don't know if that's, we've had any sales of that. But it's only been 18 expires, so that's probably not too bad. Honourable Combatants definitely keeping. Quick Blade looks interesting. Tend to try and keep some of things like that. Cindercloth, another one that has failed for a while, so we'll take that. We'll do that, put it back, and disenchant that one. There we go. The netherweave tunic is for the waste of time. Oh yes, that's what I was doing for those. I did make one each of the things for that, but I really haven't had a lot of sales with those. Need another 500,000. That's very close, Mushy. Very close indeed. I can't believe you're actually there on your second 5 million. That's amazing. Old world drops. We'll keep that. Spirit Mend. Now, how's Spirit Mend doing? Again, that's failed a fair amount on that. So we'll leave the Spirit Mend out and we'll disenchant. Silver thread gloves. Looks like there's a decent enough price on that. Eventual sale on a green on those maybe. And that's very expensive. 32,000 and 26,000. Adds 3 lightning damage. Interesting. And brick gauntlets seem quite cheap. Cindercloth again. Expensive. Very expensive in fact. No sales. So let's take that, pop that back. Cindercloth cloak. Region market value is 2,500, but look at the sale average, 162. Oh, Mix, thank you very much. 3 months in a row. That's amazing. How are you? Thanks for stopping by, and thank you ever so much for your continued support. That's really, really kind of you. Let's see some chef's hats for Nix. Thank you very much. But it really slowed down. Oh, has it? The Goldmaking. And going on another holiday Friday morning does not do any good. Yes, that's true. But you need to have some time off though, so I hope you have a nice time. Ebb and flow when it comes to Warfront hand-ins. Like a massive increase the first 2 days, then drop off. And then rinse and repeat the next week. I can imagine it would be like that, definitely. Thank you all for the chef's hats. Very kind of you. How are we doing? Going through all of this at the moment. Where did we get to? Icebane doesn't seem to be that great. That's actually been made by Gumdrops, made by Kreb. That's one of Gumdrops's. Hasn't had a sale, so, and it's had 36 expires. I kind of want to keep that really. Silver thread gloves. So we're making good progress so far. Cindercloth cloak is where we got to, it looks like. I was deciding whether to sell that or not. Do people want cloaks? I mean, market value is quite high. The sale average, that's what I was looking at. So sale average isn't so great on that. So what we'll do, we've collected the experience, that's soulbound, so we need to disenchant that one now. So let's do that whilst we're here. Cindercloth cloak. Put in a max expires on your auction operations. When it's reached, you look at why it hasn't sold. If you think it's because there's no interest, you bin or get rid of the item. I think it's because your pricing formula made it too expensive. You go to a special bargains group for the extra low price. So that's a good idea, Huxnova. Max expires is very useful for this kind of thing. Lord Lux, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. This is quite a nice one. Although look at that region sale average of 331. Feast we're keeping. Tome of Illusions we're keeping. Glyph. Excuse me. Right. Now look at that. Min buyout is now 29. Now, wasn't this for the auction part of the garrison, which isn't really used anymore? I'm doing very well, thank you very much, Lord Lux. We're just currently going through and clearing out our bags and our auctions, trying to streamline things a little bit more. The auction house in your garrison, yeah, I mean, is that really used these days? It's got a sale average of, I mean, my min price is there 1,400, so probably doesn't need to be that. Someone will still use it, quite possibly. Well, let's keep that on for now. You certainly use yours. You paid 500k at the end of Legion. Wow, that's a fair amount to pay, but I can understand why you would. Shirts we're keeping. Consumables, right. Okay, let's vendor some of these. Excuse me, got tickly throat. Right. Dark Moon Fair things. We'll get rid of that. Get rid of that. And that. Now, Lavish Suramar Feast. I haven't had a sale of these in a long time. Last sold 65 days ago. So these really aren't going to sell. So I'm going to vendor those. Nice to port away sometime and use it if you don't have a longbow. Yeah, that's very true, Nix. Killed Talok on Mythic. Oh, congratulations. I haven't had any sales of them, Huxneighbor, but you never know. Lavishes I'm going to get rid of. Really not going to sell those. Bottled water, not really going to need that. And then Tome of Illusions, Soggy Drake Scale. Ah, okay, this is the Legion fishing things. I've purchased one myself, but I don't think I've ever sold one. So let's go and vendor that one. Darkwing Ride Ticket. Now these I had for the reputation that I don't really need at the moment. Jack O'Neill, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Greetings from France, indeed. Running Snipe Scan and Sam on Twitch. A good moment. No worries. Bonsoir, ça va, as they would say. Right, let's carry on. Nothing for you, but some good drops for the guildies. Oh, okay. That's good. Oh, and Night Waste, thank you very much for the follow. Very kind of you. Hopefully, fingers crossed for you, Lord Lux, next week. Let's carry on. We're on to the armour section now. I've still got loads in my mailbox, so this is by far taking a lot slower than I thought. Let's just run through what we've got here. I think we've managed to get rid of a fair amount. All right, let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of the obvious things. Snowballs, really don't want to be holding onto those. Weapons and things I'll keep hold of. Dress shoes, definitely. They sell occasionally. Tuxedo jacket, tuxedo pants. Sold one of those. Silkweave hood for the PLS. Spirit mend. Okay, let's go. Tell you what we'll do is we'll post that lot on, and then we'll do a fresh lot. No auctions on, nothing at all. So let's go through this, and then post on a fresh set, and then we can have a look at what else is in the mail and get rid of anything obvious. I won't go through it with such a fine toothpick, I think. Any crafted stuff we'll start with, maybe. But pets, definitely, we'll keep those on because pets are a long-term investment. Eventually they will sell. The transmoggy things I've got here, the greens, as long as they don't cost me too much, I'm happy to keep those on because I've anything less than 1,000 I've certainly gotten rid of. Oh, Sensors, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Other things I'm going to have a look at here is my tailoring side of things. The shirts I definitely want to keep. I'll probably go through and do a sort of a bit of a deep dive on the tailoring. The honourable combatants, definitely want to keep those. And the shirts, even though they're not on for a lot of price, they're still worth doing. So I'm going to go for those. Honourable combatants still doing well. I could probably do with actually putting on some of this honourable combatants because that will help with my item level. Because we're currently still quite low as a fresh 120. We need to up our item level. There's lots and lots of different things I'm trying to work on at the same time. So first and foremost was to clear out my auctions a little bit. There we go, we've got that down to 94 going on. I wonder what that leaves me with. Let's post them all on. Confirm all of these. This way, by spending the time keeping everything clean and clearing it out, I will be able to do this again much quicker without wasting time repeatedly putting things on that won't sell. Let's have a look first at my bags. What have we got left? Okay, so these need to go into the bank. All of those, which will be disenchanted things. So I speak of vestments. I was still wearing a ghostly vest, so that's no good. We'll have to get rid of that or disenchant that. There we go. So let's just have a look at my item level. 280 we're currently at. Okay. We found time walking this week. Found a relatively quick, easy way to boost item level while it's up this week. Good idea, Veggie. It's Pandaria this week as well. How many expires make it not worth it, in my opinion? It does depend to some degree. It depends on the items. Something like pets, I would let go for a lot longer. Something like transmogs, the greens, I would also probably go longer. Things that I just have a sense that they're not selling. Things like the crafted gladiators gear. For me, I would probably take those to probably about 20 expires. So that's if you do a 48-hour auction, that's 20 expires. So that's actually 40 days, which is a relatively short space of time. If you did 50 expires, then that's 100 days. And if it hasn't sold in 100 days, then I'd definitely be worried about that. Yes, 50 on transmog and 5 on BFA greens. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good number. Huxnover. 5 for the BFA greens is probably a good idea as well. Whereas a rare petal mount will take much longer. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Right, let's just go over to the bank. And we'll just pop these back in. Guild Bank. Yes, we want that one. And enchanting. Let's just pop in Heavenly Shard, Arcane Dust, and Rich Illusion Dust. Okay, just got enough space for those. Seal of Critical Strike. Currently the price is at 63. Crafting cost is at 347, so that's no good to me right now. So I'm going to have to keep hold of those for the moment. Decide what I'm going to do with those. Yeah, pets don't cost a lot at all, so they're worth it. It's down to time, really. Ones that don't cost a lot, you'd probably want to put on for. You probably may not want to consider selling them. The ones that you might not sell for a very high price. But the ones that do cost a lot, yes, you definitely want those on. Right, so let's empty bags, apart from those enchants. So let's open up the mail. Let's see what else we've got. So we're going to have some more crafted gladiators coming in. So we're going to sort all that out. I mean, one thing I could do, actually, let's turn this on its head. Let's take these out of the groups that we've got in TSM, post everything else back on, and then that way we know what's left is the things we need. I probably don't need that much sorcerous water and air, no. So going down my list here, that'll keep me busy for a bit. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Veggie. It's maybe I need to change the way I'm doing this. So we did have a look at specials and the Dark Moon Fair stuff. None of this, all this stuff we threw on just as a an attempt, and so I don't think that group is working. So we're going to get rid of that group. So we're actually going to clean out our groups rather than clean out everything else. Auto hammers, I haven't done that in a while. We're going to take that off. Glyphs we're keeping. Nexus 3 that I don't have anymore. sold that. That was a while ago, so we don't need that anymore. Severi stuff now. I'm not sure if I got... I do still have the glorious breastplates, and the Skullflame shield we've sold now, so that can go. Then we're going to look at tailoring. Now that's where I've got some of the stuff that really isn't useful. Things like the cinder cloth, 37, 36 and 36 on those. So we're going to clear off the cinder cloth. Falling blossom, now I haven't sold any of that in a while. 34 and 34 on those. So let's get rid of those. Any sales? No sales. So we'll delete those. Fancy outfits. Yep, those are good ones. We'll keep those. Fancy robes. Robe of Eternal Rule is the one that I probably don't need. That took a long time to sell, so we're going to remove that one. There we go. Cindercross sells well with great profits. Yes, it's one of those weird ones, Huxley, but it hasn't done that well for me though, unfortunately. And now this is the big one, Gladiators Tailoring. This is the one I definitely don't want to do. So just keep trying on 10,000 plus items. Cindercloth, you agree? Oh right, okay. So we've got 2 votes for the Cindercloth. Hexweave I haven't done a lot of. We'll keep that. That definitely. That definitely. Silkweave now. That one. How have we got? We had 1 sale there. 1 sale there. Okay. So Shadow Song isn't a big server. Yes, basically. Especially the leggings. Okay. Saviour's Slippers. That's an interesting one. Got 1 in the mail on that. Looks like a good price, so I'll keep that. And Spirit Mend. No real sales of the Spirit Mend, with quite a few fails. Okay, we're going to get rid of the Spirit Mend and the Vicious as well. And then the Secret Waste of Time, those are the ones we were looking at before. Now I never really got any good sales out of those, so I'm going to take that off as well. For me that hasn't been a good market just as yet. Silkweave Pantaloons, not sure why that's on its own. We'll get rid of that one. And then shirts, the Lucky Shirt I did, that was a vendor buy one that I did sell once, 3 days ago in fact. But that took a while to sell, I believe. Where's my expires on that? Doesn't have the data for that. And shirts you make, we definitely want. What I might do though is put Rich Purple in amongst them rather than have its own special one. And Spell Threads. Now these definitely haven't sold. We'll take them out. Don't need those. Yeah. You go from crafting to vendor sell, as in like make it a vendor sell group. Use Morgit to see transmog. Belts, boots, helmets. Belts, boots, helmet you don't need, only chest and leggings. Oh, that's true actually. That's a good point. Imbued Silkweave, I don't believe I've done. Those are the capes. I haven't done those in a while. We're going to get rid of those. Let's just clear this out. Just focusing on tailoring at the moment. Now that lot is in there on its own, I think. Okay. Let's do that for now. Cooking, we're going to take a lot of this. I don't think we really need anymore. Lavish, hearty feasts, they just don't sell now. So I may take all of the sad as it makes me say, I might take all of this out now. All the cooking. The ingredients, the snacks, the vendor ingredients. It's just no longer a thing now that BFA is out, so I'm going to take those off. There we go. Alchemy I can get back to later. Enchanting we're going to keep. Most of those are okay. I've already trimmed those down with my crafts. I'm fairly happy with enchanting, and enchanting is quite cheap to put on as well. And fishing wise, the lures and things we don't really need to sell now. So, and the fish and the bait I don't need to bother with. I've done the Legion fishing side of things with all of these, so I'm going to take that group out as well. So that's cleared that a little bit better. Leatherworking and mining we're going to leave. Now leatherworking. Whilst we're here, we'll do the crafted stuff as well. The gladiator's leather. Let's get rid of that. Even though that it's earthen that has those, we'll keep those for the moment. Okay. All enchanted profitable ×1. Yes, that's definitely a good one. Shadow Song is small sell at the moment. It's only me that think there's a slow server for being a goblin. Yes, it is a slow server, Nix. Especially, I mean, during Legion there were a few niche markets that I found, and I think with BFA out now, there's a few of those markets that have dried up, and I think it's a question now of finding out where the other niches are, which I think I need to just expand my professions and see what else I could do, and where people are spending their money. True, but that's where it's at exactly. So you make do with what you can, really. So let's open up this mail. Yeah, as you said, 329. So let's run through all of this, fill up my bags, and then anything that doesn't get posted on because we've just trimmed the group down is the stuff we're no longer interested in. So we're going to do a quick reload on those. You have all the professions and no really big sales. Interesting, Nix. So there's nothing, even old world stuff, because I'm having old world enchants are still selling, and old world tailoring, the shirts are still doing alright. Nice goal with the inscription, the Dark Moon cards and the decks. Not getting on it at launch when the profits were even bigger. Yes, they were huge when it was bigger. Had I known about that one, I think a lot of us would have jumped on that one. Do this legwork now will save you so much time in the long run. Yes, exactly, Kat. That's the theory. You know, you spend the time doing it now. Just go through, do a review. Okay, what's working, what's not working. Otherwise, I'll end up doing this. I noticed this last time I streamed. I was just reposting everything on, and I was thinking, this is just taking me too long. And I know a lot of this stuff hasn't sold, so it's better to give it a clear out, do a little bit of house cleaning, and then that means that the whole thing's way more efficient. But yeah, it would be nice to have a few more varieties of sales. But I'm still enjoying the game, so that's the main thing. But I'm just taking some of this stuff that's less efficient out of the equation. Loads of stuff here. Alright, inventory's full, so we've got all this stuff. Now some of this stuff I'm not sure, like consumables. What have you got? Deep fried candy bar. I think some of this stuff I need to have a look at in a bit more detail. Is that even in a group? Doesn't look like it's in a group. TSM doesn't say it's in a group. Although TSM's not saying anything. Oh, that's in a group. Okay, that will be the Dark Moon specials. Okay, let's rather than go through this, let's post everything on first. Select all groups. Run a post scan. There we go. Few contracts and glyphs sell well. Honourable leather works good too. Legion flasks and hammers. That's a good list there. Mashi, some good ones there. For you it's fish, 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 and more fish, and rings. Yeah, the fish is a good one. Crafted gear, both BFA and Legacy for Transmog, is still selling well for you. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'm finding definitely the BFA ones is worth having your hand in. The drums, yeah, that's another good one, Mushy. Transmog for me is, I haven't had much in the way of transmog sales in a while. I can't think of the last transmog item that I sold. So here we go, Saviour's slippers, that was one of them. The vests, Tome of Illusions, some pets. So these things are still worth putting on. Obviously all the Honourable Combatants gear. Black Mage Weave is a good one, I do like to sell some of that occasionally. Headband, I sold 3 of those, last one was a month ago. And all the herbs, pretty stacking, yeah, definitely pretty stack them. The super cooling stuff, oh there's a Savage Snowball in there. Probably don't want to do that. Well, let's just, this is where I get to, you see. I end up just going, oh, I'll stick it on anyway, and I'll come back to it. But then what I'll do is I'm going to do what I was going to do before and trim the group down. Make that a lot easier. Hit your 5 million and 500k on top, but can't pull the trigger on the long boy. Oh, you should do it. Do it, Cat. Congratulations on the 5 million. Go get it, definitely. Definitely. We're behind you. Post a screenshot. You won't regret it. Alright, so what does that leave me with? Okay, look at all of that stuff that is no longer in a group. Interestingly, crafted gear, and we tunic there, so we can go through all of this, decide what we're going to vendor. Let's do the vendor things first. So I haven't collected that one, and then that's a close one, haven't collected the appearance on that. Okay, let's do this, okay, Dark Moon Drafts, let's do that first. Oh, oops, I missed one there. Yeah. Sales soon again, cheap enough to relist. Yeah, that's true. On your server, thanks to you, you started last Wednesday with 30k, today you have 962 gold. Wow, very nice, Jack and Neil, very nice indeed. Dump most Panda Drain on Legion, yeah, definitely. Use the auction house site in the city and have a mailbox, opening mail everywhere. Yes, Nix, it's definitely good. It is awesome, definitely worth it. Yeah, wow, I've been up for an hour already. Wow, that time's just rapidly gone away. Gosh, is it really nearly midnight? I can't believe that. You're at 4.5 million? Oh wow, that's very close actually, Huxneighbor. Very close indeed. Bite the bullet, go for it, Cat. Okay, so I think we're actually going to spend our entire session tonight on the mount, which is kind of interesting. Small jeweler, skulker, cut and clean. What else have we got here? Right, okay, let's do the Dark Moon stuff. We don't need those. Lavishes we don't need. And then there's the enormous ones. You know what, I'm going to probably just go ahead and vendor these. We could transfer them into Skulker Flesh. That's the main use for it. Deep fried candy bar, get rid of that. Okay, crafted malevolent gear. Right, we're going to have to get off our mount and sort this out first. So, actually no, we don't need to do that. We can do that from here. So let's collect the appearance of these. And then we'll go through Windwall Hood. Yeah, that's another... what's that? Market value. That should have gone into a group. Did I miss that on the wind wool side? 18 expires. Let's go with it. Let's get rid of it. Might as well. Marsper, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. We're just going through and doing some... We've spent a day... spent tonight tidying up. Has been today's stream. Probably less interesting, but worthwhile investment of my time. Death Silk. We're going to get rid of those. Rove Eternal Rule. Now we haven't collected this one. Now this is quite an expensive one. We haven't sold one in a while. But I think I'm going to collect that one up. And Netherweave we've done. Crafted. We'll take that. Another crafted. At least we're collecting the appearances of these, if nothing else. Frostwoven leggings we've got. 3 of those. More crafted. Take that, turn it round. Then onto the mooncloth. I can make a set out of these at least. Of transmog if ever I want to do it. Drape we've done. Red hot wings we can vendor. Now what we need to do is use that. And then there was an enormous one. Missing reagent, enormous. Oh, we need 5 of those. Okay, that'll be why. Small. Okay, no good. Deep sea sagefish. Can't see a use for that. And the rest here. Let's carry on. You did pay for ASAP as soon as you got 5 million, and now I'm 1 million again, and you only had 1,000 gold after you pay for it. Yeah. If you sell for closer to value, it perhaps sells. Yes, it could be a thing. Very overpriced. Trying to clean up your guild banks too. Yes, good idea. Get closer to region average sell. That could be useful. Looking at these, because the price there at 17,000, you never know. You know, putting that down to 6,000. That's a good idea. For now, I'm going to go for the whole sort of just like cut my losses on these ones, collect the appearance, and then the thing I want to do most out of this is then just carry on with a leaner group and then build on some other things that I think might sell. So I'm gonna carry on with this lot for sure. And then we'll can't do that one. Done that one. Spirit Mend we've done. Another crafted. I'll do that one. There's a lot of different crafted stuff, and the vicious side of things. Got tailored to under 300 items. That's a good amount. I think under 300 is a good one. I think I've probably done that with Samadan now. If I go through all of these and just clear them out. And chances at 150. That's very nice. See, that keeps it manageable. That's the main thing we're doing here, is keeping things manageable. Falling Blossom. At least I'm collecting the appearances of these. And another one. There's a lot of crafted gladiator stuff. This is the thing that was slowing me down. I had so much of this stuff, and so it's nice to be able to at least clear it out. Got the appearance of that. Vicious Ember Silk. Now any of these, there'll be a list of these to vendor, and there'll be a list of these to disenchant. So let's just run through them. Oh no, we need to put those back on. Just double check my level. Yep, 280. Yep, that's fine. Okay, all of this is vendor. That's disenchant. So I'll disenchant that. That's disenchant. Just looking at the prices and comparing the two of them now to to make sure that I disenchant what I need to disenchant and vendor the rest. This is why I've kept my bags empty as well whilst doing this. It's a lot easier to be able to do it here with empty bags than to have to go through and dodge which ones and accidentally disenchant something I don't want to. All of those, all of those, all of those, and then onto the armour here. Disenchant that one. Then the last list, 5, 13, that's 17, so I'll take that. The Death Silk, run through all of these. Don't know how much mail I've got left after this. I might as well vendor that one, seeing as it's very close in price. And these are sell, that's a disenchant. That's a disenchant. So terrified of disenchanting you might need. Yes, it is a bit of a scary moment, that's for sure. Did I do all of these? I think I did. Right. Hey, right one too. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. We're currently going through and cleaning out my mailbox and my bags and my guild bank. So it's a bit of a maintenance day today, but thanks ever so much for stopping by. Take it all, relist and go to bed. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. If you can get the relisting numbers down like you have, definitely. Right, let's vendor these that we've all done. Oops, wasn't sure what I've just vendored there, but it's probably okay. That's the thing to watch out for with the recent items. Let's reset that. There we go, then we can just concentrate on the crafted gear. Get rid of all of this. And then at least we are in a better position for future listings, where we'll have a much smaller mailbox. And at least I've collected up some transmog appearances. Weapon, underlight angler, keeping that. All of this, we'll get rid of that. And the sagefish. And then that's all going to go back in the guild bank. So that's clean. There we go. Samadan house cleaner. Yes, exactly. Did a lot the past few days as well. Yeah, it's a good idea. I think Oreo's hiding under his chair at the moment. Right, what have we got left in the mailbox? How's our bags looking? Okay, we just got the enchanted stuff. We are down to the last 200 mails, so let's see what we've got. Let's run through this. Nice and fast, which is lovely to see. Still some more crafted malevolent stuff coming in. That's how much of the stuff we've got and how much it was clogging up my mailbox and my auction house. It'll be interesting to see what my actual auction house value will be after all of this. I know I'm going slightly over time here, but I think this is kind of needs to be done, needs to be completed. And then next time I'll be much better position. Oh, we've got some gold coming in. Well, that's a good thing. 82,000 there. I don't know what that is. Oh, Bountiful Captain's Feast. Interesting. I haven't sold any of those in a while. Very nice. Stacks of 10, pretty stacks at 33,000. Well, there we go. The Great Purge of 2018. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Alright, let's do another reload. Well, that's a nice turnout for the books. Even at my rank 1 for the Bountiful Feasts. Trying to push me as hard as you can to keep you fresh and fruity. A lot of the older stuff will sell again, but later on. Yeah, I think that's a good point, right one too. It probably will. People are focusing on all the new stuff at the moment, aren't they? What else have we got? New stuff coming in. Let's get some more expires out. Yeah, rank 1 for the Bountiful Captain's Feast. I haven't got the reputation for the new ones yet. So, how am I doing for bag space? Still got a bit more. Let's do a reload on the rest of that. You also sell feast now? Oh, excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear. I need to get the reputation up though. So that's my next stage. It's a shame with the cooking that some of the older stuff doesn't sell. Because I like the idea of Samadan being a cook. Oh wow, even more gold coming in. 135,000. Very nice mailbox. What else have we got here? Okay. Bloodstained Bones, we pretty stacked those into hundreds. Those have been good. We sold a Shadowy Mask, 2 of those. Gift of Haste, Versatile Navigation. Wow, 8,000 gold each for the Versatile Navigation. That's good. And a Mark of the Black Roll. Oh, and a Sunscryer Cal. We were talking about green items. There's one there. And then Black Mage Weave is another nice one. So, some good things there. Let's do another reload. Those turtles will scare you shellless. Yeah, I imagine. I have to wear my t-shirt that says turtle on it for that. Yeah, a turtle made it to the water. I haven't experienced that yet. I'm looking forward to it. And the last lot, 140,000. And we got some buys in there as well. Okay. Right, well, mailbox-wise, that's looking very nice. More shirts, that's good. Hexweave bag, sold that. A lot less than we used to. Look at that, 1,000 gold. But 140,000 gold. When you get exalted Tortolan, you're going to go beach hand just to watch the seagulls eat them all. Don't spoil it for me, Ollie. I haven't seen it yet. During it once, and when he got back the game, it was a massacre. Oh no! Right, okay, well let's take that. Thank you very much. And then we'll do a post scan of where we're at, and then see what we're left with. There we go.
Have anything ancient
So run a post scan.
to be at least 2 centuries old.
So we do have some Bountiful Captain's Feast in my guild bank at the moment. I popped those in there. How many do we have? 17 in the guild vault. So might be worth putting those on. Hey Boogie Lips, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. How's your week been so far? Hope it's been good. We've been spending the day today tidying things up and cleaning out my auctions, my mailbox, trimming things down to a much more manageable amount. We've got 166 items now on for 1.5 million value. We've got another load we're just putting on now, another 38. So we're keeping ourselves, that's just below, that's about just over 200 items, which is much more manageable because we were at 470 items and a lot of that stuff just wasn't selling. Bit of maintenance, exactly. Drums, silkweave satchels. I haven't done any silkweave satchels in a while. My crafting operation hasn't picked up them as a profit for a long time, interestingly. I wonder why that is. I'd have to check the price of them. But I probably won't do drums tonight. I'll come back to that another time, I think. Oh, actually 138 items here. Okay. So that's going to be 300 items, not 200. So we purged about 170, judging by that. 240 gold is profit, this is true. Right, there we go. More honourable combatants. I haven't actually had many sales of the honourable combatants. I wonder if that's slowed down now that people have geared themselves up. I mean, there's obviously still alts to come, So let's have a look. My auctions. We have currently 304 posted auctions for a 2 million auction value. We did have 470, so we've cleared out 170 auctions, which I think is really good for a purge. Let's go and have a look at what we've got left in our bags. And let's just clear these out. Okay, what have we got? Jeweler's Skulker. Let's collect the appearance of these, of the crafted gladiator's gear. Run through all of these. The tunic we've done, Spiritman belt we've done, and that one's done, that one's done, Frostwoven's done, Falling Blossom, haven't collected the treads, might as well get the set, and we'll collect that up, and that one, there we go. Why Malevolent Models, there we go. We've got an achievement for it as well. There's got to be something out of it. Mostly to players with less time. Yes, that's a good point. Just need to clean up all your characters again. Yeah, definitely. Just a messy bugger. Yeah, you and me both, Boogie Lips. Okay, Ollie, thank you ever so much for stopping by. I hope to see you again soon. And consumables are all going to sell. Get rid of all of those. Okay. Right, so that leaves me with, you know what, I'm going to vendor all of this lot. Let's make it easier. Keep all of those. Armour, sell. You know what, I'm just going to go through and sell it. I'm going to take the raw gold. Take all of this indiscriminately. Stylish green shirt I want to keep. That will come back in, I think. Probably got maximum amount posted at the moment. All of these are no good. They never sold, so we can get rid of all of those. There we go. Now that's much cleaner, and that can go. Oh, glyph we want to keep. There we go.
Not everything in the ocean.
And then some of these are going to go into the guild bank, so we'll get those sorted. It's nice that the arch is nice and big for this one. I'm going to go here. Oh, now can we fit these in? We are running low on space. Hypnotic dust, lesser celestial essence, heavenly shards, shard crystals. No room for those, interestingly. Okay. Dan Sandman, how are you? Thanks for coming by. What's your review? In your opinion, it's better to buy the mats, level crafting professions, or farm them yourself? Interesting one. I would say if it's fun, farm them yourself. If it's cheap, buy the mats yourself. If they're expensive, go and farm them and then sell the excess. Send everything looted to one character. That's pretty good. Good night, Morgan. Sorry if you're already gone already. But thanks ever so much for stopping by. Old World and Guild Bank. Split mats to the Crafters Reagent tab. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to have to clean my bank too. I know, the Guild Bank is pretty full. We've gone through and we've cleaned that out. So it's looking neat, but there's still a lot of stuff we can do here. The next thing is to look at my actual bank, because that's full of stuff. What have I got here that I don't need to put in? Shard crystals we could probably put in a reagent bank. I bet you I've got space there.
How are you?
Where's my reagent bank? There we go, we do have some space here. So let's pop in shard crystals. Yeah, we have got space there. Infinite dust, got space for that. Weapons we're keeping. Everything else we're keeping. The fractured crystals, let's just take those and make those into proper temporal crystals. Leaves me with one. And then we can pop those in. There we go, 35 of those.
See you later.
And I spotted some Dalaran ingredients in there. I need to probably get them. I was thinking it's only because she had no keybinds as such. Do I play the game purely for flipping the auction house and search? Have I got a max level and raid and such? No problem asking at all. Tipsy, thank you very much for the follow. I don't raid unless it's LFR. I very rarely do dungeons. Most of my time is spent doing the auction house because I've done one dungeon since 120. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of gives you an idea as to I do it. I've been enjoying doing PvP as well to get the marks of honour for the gold making, but you know it mixes things up. So I'm kind of I like to do a bit of everything, but the main focus is gold making and questing as well. So I don't tend to do a lot of I don't have a lot of weak auras or things like that. I try and use voodoo a fair amount. That's pretty useful. There we go. That's a lot neater. So I'm happy with that. I think we've made some really good progress today. It hasn't possibly been the most interesting in terms of streaming, but what it is useful is yes, getting me ready for Warfronts is the next thing. I need to get up to 320 item level? What am I at the moment? 280. So I need to probably make myself some honourable combatants gear to sort my item level out. Maybe if I can pop some epics on or something like that, that could probably work. Lots to do. The main thing we were working on was the world quests. We need to do a few things for that. We need to get some Drustvar reputation going. That's the next thing we need to do. Not Broken Isles, Galteras, Drustvar. We need to do the quests here and get my reputation up. That's the next thing. Make a quick group from chat and run you through heroics. Yep, that would be fun to do, definitely. Patch 8.1, Gussian Reach, Army of Light reputation gains doubled from World Quest. Ah, interesting. Nice to know, Pete Squeaker. Thanks for that. Yeah, got to get my Tortollan rep as well. Put BOEs in your back, mouse item to bump to 320 as you get geared. Then sell the BOEs too. Don't have to equip them all until you get good ones for the Warfront. Oh, right, okay. And the contracts as well. Yeah, we need to do the contracts. Once I've gotten up to friendly, then I can do that as well. So, absolutely loads to do. Looking forward to that. Loads and loads. But what I'm going to have to do is call it a night tonight because it's already late. What I'll do at the end, though, because we are still working towards that virtual ticket. So with my mailbox at the moment, let me just find my Google Doc. Road to BlizzCon. That's the one I want. So this is my spreadsheet. I've got a new spreadsheet that I'm doing for my Road to BlizzCon. I haven't updated it in a couple of days. Or actually we need to put it in for the 18th. Let me just move this over. It's just lagging a little bit. Whoops, it's disappeared. Hold on. It's all gone terribly slow. Poor Mr. Potato's struggling there. Right, let's try that again. There we go. Let's move that over. There we are. Okay, Kat, thank you very much. Have a great evening. Alright, here we go. So, BlizzCon ticket. We are looking at gold-wise 181,000. We should ideally be, we're going from the 17th. We should exactly be at 180,000 at this, because I'm taking, this is yesterday's because it's just turned midnight here. So even though it's the 18th technically, we'll go with this one. So we are actually on target. I wasn't actually expecting that. 989. So there we are. Target gold currently at there. So what we need to do is probably just fill in some fake numbers for here. So let's do 144000 just to add the bars in, and Let's do 100 for that, because it's probably about that. 100,000. That's kind of where we were at, but that's definitely a precise figure. So we're in a nice start. We basically need 4 WoW tokens between now and BlizzCon to be able to afford a virtual ticket. That's the goal. So we can probably buy one now. Looking at the price of things, I don't know whether it's worth doing it quite at this point. I don't know what the price of tokens is at the moment. Let's just have a quick look, just in case. Let's just pop to the standard user interface. Tokens are 182,000 at the moment, so they've gone up slightly. Yeah, so probably because of Call of Duty coming out. So that's going to make the challenge slightly harder. But once we've got a bit more, yeah, Call of Duty release is probably going to make that. Well, let's wait for that to come back down afterwards, and then we've got time to buy our tokens. We'll see how things go. So I think we're in a good place. Yeah, they'll go down soon enough, definitely. I have every confidence. Okay, well, thank you everyone. Let's see if we can find someone to throw a host over to who is on and playing WoW. None of my usuals that I haven't done already recently. So if anyone has any preferences, I can't see anyone who's doing World of Warcraft that's in my list. I wonder if I mean, we could do someone like Final Boss TV who's on at the moment. I don't know what they're covering at the moment. Let's have a quick peek, see what they're up to. Could wait for the ads to come through now. Let's just make that. They're doing Mithrax, BlizzCon soon. Let's just wait for that ad to follow through. It would be a shame to just end the stream. We might as well pass the love on. I prefer to do it with someone who is playing World of Warcraft. I know Skits is on, but I did Skits last time, so I do like to do someone different each time. None of my other sort of creative ones are on, so yeah, let's do Final Boss. I quite like his content. Haven't raided him before, so let's go send some love over to Final Boss TV, who does some great commentary on the whole World of Warcraft scene. Did some quite nice interviews with Trade Chat a while ago. Slash host Final Boss TV. Right. Okay. Well, thank you everyone. I hope you have a lovely next few days. I next should be on Friday, all things going well. I'll post up on Discord and on Twitter when I'm live, and if I'm not live for whatever reason, I'll post on there as well. So happy gold making. I hope you managed to sort out your own guild banks and auction houses and clean things up as well. Until next time, have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you soon.